want more of me?
Me?
Go to MeTVFresno.com for schedules, information on your favorite shows, videos, pictures, and more. Go to MeTVFresno.com today. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV. It's time to play the Hi Bob game. Simply watch the Bob.
Howard, I wanted to hear what that lady said.
As I was saying, simply watch the Bob Newhart show and count how many times people say Hi Bob.
Well, why don't we start things off?
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon.
Sorry, try again.
Darn it.
Everybody loves the Hi Bob game.
This is the greatest game I've ever seen.
Weeknights at 10:30, 9:30 Central on MeTV.
Hello, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with me here live on the showroom floor at Ventura TV, as usual on MeTV. Today, the focus is on business. We're going to be talking about a very special olive oil made right here in America, made right here in the Central Valley. What are we talking about? You'll find out. 265-4331 is the number.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And no doubt about it, the focus today is on business, and we're talking about a very successful business right here in the Central Valley. I'm talking olive oil. Hey, who doesn't like olive oil? If you don't like olive oil, you must not be Greek or Italian or European. I love olive oil. Was baptized in it. I pour it on my head. I eat it. I drink it. It's supposed to be good for you, but don't take my word for it. You better check with your dietitian, maybe check with your doctor on some of the health benefits. But let's go to the videotape in the meantime, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. A very special olive oil. It's made right here in the Central Valley, and it's become the olive oil of choice for the Hollywood stars and the Golden Globes this coming weekend. I am talking about Bari Oil, not only made in America, made in Dinuba. That's where the olive trees are planted and harvested, and where the oil is processed. Locally owned, locally made. Quite a success story indeed. Two very young brothers, Kyle and Ryan Salwatzky, bought the company back in 2008 for a mere $50,000. And now, less than 5 years later, the pair has turned this company around financially. They make up to $1 million in sales a year. Bari Oil is legendary. It all started back in 1936, and the company quickly gained a reputation for processing the highest quality of extra virgin olive oil. The company has roughly 10 to 12 employees. Bari Oil is available in several different locations here in the area, including Sam's Deli and Max's Bistro. And there is Kyle doing his cooking class with Bari Oil. You can buy a 15-ounce bottle for $12 to $15. Live in our studio right now is Kyle Salwatzky, who is going to try to answer your questions about Bari Oil. You can also buy it online at barioliveoil.com. It's $12 to $15 a bottle. We're going to test some here on the set. You are encouraged to call in on the show today, 265-4331. As we dip our bread into the olive oil, maybe we'll even take a bottle and dump it on our heads. Who knows? But today's program is the focus on business. Bari Oil is the subject. Back with our program in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Whirlpool Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. Check this out. Right now, get huge savings on select Whirlpool appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
And we're back. We're talking about Bari Oil, and Kyle Salwatzky is here, the half owner, right? Your brother owns the other half.
Yep, yeah, we're partners in the deal.
So you bought this thing for 50 grand, and now the thing is worth, what, you're doing $1 million in sale.
We've grown about 20-fold over the last 4
How
or 5
did you
years.
do that? How did it happen?
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of just getting out there, beating the bushes, and...
That's the simple answer. Now give me the details.
the real answer is it wasn't our own doing. God has totally blessed us. So,
but how did you turn it around? How did you get the clients? How did you get all the clientele
Really,
back?
it's just going out on the road and getting to meet, starting here locally, going into a lot of small shops that like a specialty product, getting into larger markets as we've grown. You know, you mentioned that we're going to be at this year's Golden Globes here this weekend. That kind of notoriety sure helps a lot. We did a gifting suite last year at the Oscars. We've been involved with the Sundance Film Festival, and so we've gotten a lot of notoriety from Hollywood, and that's definitely helped spread our message.
Yeah, but you're not going to the Golden Globes.
No, unfortunately, they won't.
They won't let you in.
Yeah.
Security's really
We've
tight.
tried. This will actually be our 3rd year there. We've tried for a couple of years now. We've
Right,
never
your
got in.
3rd year at the Golden Globes. You brought 3 samples here,
Yes.
3 sample bottles. Of course, you've going to crack them open. We're not going to do it right now, though. We're going to test it out with some of the bread that we've put out here on the table. But I want to talk about the Golden Globes,
Okay.
and I want to put a picture up of the chef, the head chef of the Golden Globes.
Yep.
We've got a picture of him.
Okay,
In fact,
chef.
we got 2 pictures. He's coming up, let's see, now or next century? Okay, there it is. We've got a slow processor ourselves here at Connect With Me. All right, what are we looking at here, Kyle?
Okay, so we're looking at Chef Sugiura. He is the executive chef of the Beverly Hilton and has been for the last, I believe, 6 or 7 years. And he is doing a promotional photo shoot for the Golden Globes that he does the week prior to the show, where the media from all over the world gets a chance to come in and see what the stars are going to be eating that night.
Let's change the photo. There he is again, holding up one of your bottles of Bari oil.
So the neat thing about Suki, he loves paying attention to details. He loves to know the story of every company he works with. He actually spends about a week every year in August researching all the ingredients that are going to go into the meal for this one meal. And so that involves going out and meeting the producers. He tries to source all California ingredients, and we've been lucky to be the olive oil of choice for him and the Hilton.
So does each celebrity sitting at the various tables, do they each get to take a bottle of Bari oil home?
I don't believe they're going to get a bottle of their own, but there will be 1 or 2 bottles on every table that'll have our name.
That'll have the
printed
name
right on
Bari,
it.
B-A-R-I.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And what makes this oil so special? Why is it the best, in your opinion?
Well, one of the things that makes it special is just our attention to detail. We do things in smaller batches. We don't have a massive facility that we run, hundreds of thousands of gallons over through the course of 7-8 weeks. The harvest time is pretty tight, so we run smaller batches, smaller equipment. We keep everything separate by lot, so each grower that we work with has his or own certain characteristics. Olive oil is just like wine. Depending on what type of food you're eating, you can use a different olive oil. So we've actually developed different flavor profiles.
It's similar to wine in what way?
Similar to wine in that every orchard, every field gives you a different flavor profile. So you might have an Arbusana from one grower in the Madera region that's going to taste completely different from an Arbusana olive grown on my ranch. And so because we keep everything separate, that gives us a lot of opportunities to offer the customer something completely different and something unique.
Okay, we're talking about Bari oil. It's all harvested, processed in the city of Dinuba. It once was in Reedley, and they moved the company to Dinuba, but it's made right here in the Central Valley. You've got to taste it. Available in various stores around
Various stores in Fresno,
this area,
yeah,
right?
Fresno, you can find us at We Olive in Fig Garden. The market also carries us. Piemonte's Deli down the Tower District carries us. Sam's Deli carries us, and a few other places.
So what's the difference between this olive oil and, say, if I went to Costco or to Winco or to Food Max or to, say, Whole Foods and bought olive oil there?
A lot of it has to do with, like I mentioned earlier,
The processing?
our attention to detail. One thing that makes us a little bit different is we actually have all of our oils certified by the California Olive Oil Council, who certifies our oils as extra virgin.
So it's a higher end.
Yes, we definitely we hold ourselves to a higher standard than most of the oils sold in the store, where our
Right.
acidity is lower, so you're going to get a fresher flavor and just a much better tasting product.
Right. We don't want to talk too much about the health benefits because you're not a dietitian.
No, I'm not.
Neither am I, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not suggesting anything. Check with your doctor. But they, the people in Europe certainly live a lot
Yes.
longer, and they say it's because of their diet, the olive oil
Yeah.
and this and that.
Well, olive oil is a monounsaturated fat, so
Yeah.
everybody needs some fat in their diet,
Yeah,
and
a little bit.
you have to have the right kind, and
Yeah.
olive oil is the right kind of fat to
Yeah,
have.
this is not like eating an entire bag of Doritos.
No, no,
Okay, this is
completely
a little bit different
Yeah.
fat is what we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. All right, you said paying attention to detail is the key to success. I want to turn you around to the monitor here and take a look at some video
Okay.
of the harvesting, and I would imagine it starts with the harvesting. Is that correct?
Yep.
The detail.
Yes. So here you see one of our drivers pulling in with the harvesting equipment, and the harvester is a converted grape harvester. It's similar to what you'll see harvesting vineyards. With
You
some
guys
different
plant your own
modifications. We do plant our own. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
At,
And,
at what time of year do you plant the trees?
typically we'll plant in the spring. You can do, because it's technically an evergreen tree, you can plant 12 months out of the year.
Okay. How long does it take to grow?
You'll have a crop the third year. So here you see the shaker going over the top of the tree, and this is a little different olive tree than you're used to seeing. This is grown on what we consider a super high density system, where the trees are grown into a hedge and can be machine harvested. This allows us to cut down in a lot of our hand labor and makes it so we can have a more economical oil.
Right, okay, and the process continues, and what time of year do you harvest?
So we started harvesting this year about the first week of October, and we finished up about the first week of December.
And when you say paying attention to detail, what are you doing differently in the harvesting area that other companies may not be doing?
Well, one thing we're doing is we're harvesting a little bit slower. We don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We want to make sure that within a matter of hours of that olive coming off that tree, that it's being pressed into oil. An olive is a fruit, and
10 hours, 12 hours?
Usually we try to get. We say for sure within the first day, within 24 hours, it is milled.
And why is that important?
Because olive oil is like any fruit. There is sugar in there, and those sugars do break down with time and start to ferment. Now, because it's not sweet like a peach would be, you don't see breaking down within a day. But it is important to get it done in a rather short order.
And how many acres do you have out there?
We personally, as a family, farm about 70 acres on our 800-acre farm for olives. But this year we harvested off of right at 1,500 acres valley-wide.
All right, we're talking to Kyle Salwatzky. He's one-half owner of Bari Oil out of Dinuba. Your telephone calls are important if you have any questions about the oil. And do you use olive oil to cook? Do you think it's good for you? 265-4331 is the number here in Fresno.
And now, the Alan Brady Show.
Hi, I'm Alan Brady. You remember me from the Alan Brady Show?
Yes, if Alan needs any help. Shut up, Mel. Yes, sir. Shut up, Mel. Shut up, Mel. Yes, sir.
I had the best TV writers on my show. Rob Petrie, Sally Rogers,
Hey, I got it! Don't anybody move!
and Buddy Sorrell.
Well, how you moved, I forgot it!
On the Dick Van Dyke Show here,
Alan, if you're...
Shut Up Mel, on Me TV.
Weeknights at 9:30, 8:30 Central on MeTV.
What's the matter with you?
All right, we're here talking to Kyle Salwatzky. He's the owner, one-half owner of Bari Oil out of Dinuba. Very high-end olive oil if you want to use it for cooking. We do have a telephone call. I imagine we ought to take that first, Kyle, and then we'll do the taste testing here on some of the oils that you've brought. Good morning. You're on Connect with me. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. What's your question, my friend?
I want to know, can you substitute olive oil for, like, regular oil?
Yes, absolutely you can. You can use olive oil just like you would any other oil. You do need to be concerned about the smoke point on it. You're not going to want to use it in a real hot fry like you might use a vegetable oil because it can deteriorate a little bit. But yeah, anywhere you'd use a vegetable oil. I use olive oil even when I bake my a cake or cookies. It works great for that as well. So anywhere you can use vegetable oil, and anywhere you use butter.
Okay, well, I'm thinking, like, I love fried potatoes.
Uh-huh.
Will it work for fried potatoes?
Yeah, it'll work just fine for that.
Well,
So-
thank you very much, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate it. Have a good day. The only thing I warn you, I would assume you can't put that and use it in your car.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. No, that's
It's a
not the
little
right kind. That's
expensive to do
different
that, yeah.
kind of oil. Different
Little
kind
bit
of oil. All
expensive
right.
for
just checking. Anyway, so do you want to do the taste test now?
Sure.
I guess
Are
we
you ready
can.
for it?
Yeah. Well, why not? Why not?
Okay.
Let's try.
So,
Okay. What do we have here? What's
Bari offers 13 different olive oils.
Yeah, which one are we using
And
here?
the first one we're going to try is our organic oil.
That's organic.
Yes, it's going to be an organic oil. Feel free to grab some bread there.
Okay.
And dip
Taste
it in.
here.
And you're going to have a nice...
I don't want to get this on my suit or tie.
Right.
Okay.
This is going to be what we consider to have a nice fruity flavor profile. So you're going to taste a nice bit of the olive, a little bit of butteriness, a little bit of grassiness, but just a nice full olive flavor. A lot of folks say, what's so different from yours versus what I taste in the supermarket? And really, just smell it and taste it. Does your oil taste like an olive? If it does, then you've got a great thing. It's got a nice fruity flavor. Yes.
Okay. Fruity flavor.
The next one we've got is basil infused.
All right. Oh, I love basil.
Yeah, we offer 8 different infused oils.
Okay.
So we do a lemon, we do an orange, we do a basil, we have a garlic we're going to taste in a bit.
All right. You want to pass that dish over, please? I would appreciate it. Let me dip that in there and try that. Okay. So this is basil.
Yes, that's basil.
All right. See if I can taste the difference here. I don't know, but I can taste the difference right off the bat.
Yeah, you really can taste it.
Yeah, I like that basil. Better than the Fruity Tooty.
Yeah, okay. That's why, everybody's different. And so we offer mild oils, we offer more robust oils, we offer infused oils for those a little bit more adventurous. We've even got an Indian spice one we call our Tandoori Masala. That's absolutely fantastic. So
basil is my favorite.
The final one we're going to taste, and this is probably our most popular and best-selling oil, is our garlic infused olive oil. Okay,
I might like that one even better. Who knows?
You probably will. So it's a popular one.
Yeah, the taste of basil though was outstanding. Our crew has got to try this. But anyway, this is garlic, right?
Yes.
I like that too.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's really outstanding. As I'm chewing here, I apologize. Don't mean to be rude.
No problem.
But I am chewing with my mouth closed, by the way. I want to take you back to some videotape, and we're going to take a look at. This is beyond the harvesting now. You've taken the olives out and put them in bins.
Yes.
We're going to take a look at that right now as we take a look at the videotape, and you can narrate over it.
Yeah, that's fine. So the olives have been harvested. They've been placed in bins. This allows us a greater control over when they get harvested and make sure we can keep each grower separate from another. And so you actually see my brother there on the forklift bringing them in.
How many olives in each bin, roughly speaking?
Oh, I don't know the count. There's about 1,000 pounds of olives, so in each bin.
Okay, and from what I understand, you get about 15 to 20 gallons from each bin.
From each bin, yes.
From each bin of olives. Okay, a lot of olives in there. Then they weigh it, right?
Yep, we weigh it, and then here you see him putting it on the dumper, and the olive is about to be dumped, which is what you're seeing here.
Right.
It can be dumped into a holding tank that holds.
What about bruising the olives? Are you worried about that?
Not really, because we're getting them crushed right away. They will bruise a little bit, but that won't hurt the flavor profile.
What's happening here?
So here you see these are actually some Arbequina olives, and they've been put into the holding tank, and then from here they're going to be pumped up, and the olives are going to go underneath a vacuum. And that vacuum is going to suck out.
This is like a conveyor belt here, right?
Yeah, just a conveyor belt going up, and there's a vacuum right there that's sucking off any loose leaves or any small sticks that might be.
Is that like a leaf blower?
Yeah, similar. Yep.
Yeah.
And then you see them being caught there.
What's the concept there to try to get the leaves and branches out of there?
Yeah, we just don't want the machine getting backed up or getting plugged up. So, and then after that, the olives are washed, which is what you see here.
Right.
And they're given a nice little spraying to get all the dirt and debris off. And then from here, they're about to be crushed. And we crush the olive pit and all into like a tapenade type consistency.
Yeah. Interesting process there. And this, how long does this process take?
Start to finish, maybe an hour and a half.
Is that right? And you do that almost immediately when they come off the
as soon as they get off, we get them.
Yeah.
We get them crushed.
Okay, any more phone calls? Any interest in olive oil? That garlic and that basil really taste outstanding, just outstanding oil. Bari Oil is the topic today. It's the focus on business. By the way, before we go to break, let's put up the disclaimer. We do that each and every time we have a business person on, and basically it's to focus on the fact that, Kyle came in here of his own doing. We are not paying him. He's certainly not paying us. At least you're not giving me money under the table, are you? Okay, no money under the table. And no free olive oil. You got to pay for it. Anyway, he came in here of his own free will to talk about his business and his olive oil, and he's not being paid, and we're not being paid. So that's the whole purpose of that disclaimer. Your phone calls are important here, 265-4331. We're back in just a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
And we're back talking about Bari oil and eating some bread with some of the garlic and basil oil. You've even got Fruity Tooty here on the table. And you know, I want to take you back to some video, and we're going to play the sound on this, and it explains the process to a certain extent. And once we look at the video and listen to it, we can kind of react, and you can tell us what process we're looking at. Let's turn around and take a look and a listen.
The olives fall into the olive hopper and then pass through a gate where they are augured up to the crusher. The speed of the crushing process is controlled by the opening of the gate and the speed of the auger. The olives fall into the hammer mill crusher, where the olives are forced through small holes in a stainless steel cylinder screen by stainless steel hammers that are spinning inside of the screen. This process crushes the meat of the olive as well as the pit and turns the olives into a paste. The paste is then augured into one of two tanks inside the malaxer. The malaxing process takes about 40 to 60 minutes. The rotating blades inside the malaxer keep the paste moving. The dual walls of the malaxer allow warm water to circulate around the tank, warming the paste up to a maximum of 85 degrees. When the olives are first crushed, the water and oil molecules are so small that they are very difficult to separate. During the malaxing process, the oil molecules begin attracting themselves to other oil molecules. This makes the oil molecules larger and easier to separate from the water.
So what were we looking at there toward the tail end? First of all, I want to get to that. That looked like a very thick paste. How do you get olive oil out of that?
So the tapenade type consistency will spend about 40 to 50 minutes in that tank. And during that time, we add just a small amount of heat. It's still considered a cold press. But when you're picking our olives in November and they come in at 40 degrees, you gotta warm it up so the oil will release. So we warm it up to between 75 and 80 degrees, and at that point, through the 40 to 50 minutes in the tank, the oil will start to separate, and you'll start to see it pool in the corners. And then from there, we move it into a centrifuge, and that spins the oil, spins the paste at about 3,500 RPM, and forces the oil to be basically thrown to the outside and pushed to the back of the machine where it can be extracted at that point.
Okay, so the oil separates from the paste.
Yes.
Okay, what do you do with the paste?
The paste we crush, and we've got a dairy that takes it and uses it for cattle feed. So everything gets used.
All right, we got a phone call here. Good morning. You're on with Kyle Salwatzky from Bari Oil. What's your question?
Good morning. I have two questions. My first question is, tapenade. Tapenade, that's something we hear a lot about. It sounds good. What do you like to eat it on? That's my first question. Second question, Bari. Bari, isn't that a region in Italy? And if it is it similar to the weather and soil conditions that we have out here in the Central Valley?
Yes. So to answer your questions, tapenade is great served on toast or crackers, and we don't actually produce any tapenade ourselves. That has to go through a brining process, which we don't do. But it just is a good way to describe the consistency.
Right.
And as far as the name of the company, we got started in 1936 by Frank and Vito Pantaleo, and also the Laminuzzi family was involved in that.
You're what, the fourth owner?
We're the third owner.
Third owner.
And the families originally came here from Bari, Italy, and so that's
why it's called Bari Oil.
As respect to the mother, to where they came from and immigrated to America from. That's where the name comes from.
So the oil started, the company Bari Oil started in 1936 in Reedley, right?
Fresno area.
In Fresno area. They moved to Reedley.
Yeah, moved to Reedley in the mid-50s, early 60s. And then we bought the company in 2008 as a family and moved it to Dinuba.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty interesting. You've been there ever since.
Yep.
All right, we have got to go take a break. 265-4331 is the number. Back in a moment.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
And we're back here on Connect with Me talking about Bari oil, a great oil. We saw in that last video the olives being crushed into that crusher. And talk about that unit that actually crushes the olives. What kind of a unit is that?
Well, it's technically considered a mill, so it's not a press in your normal sense where you would where you'd have the oil pressed between heavy weights and then have the oil extracted.
And so why is the first press the best? Is it because it breaks down after 2 or 3?
Yeah, so your fullest flavor and your best quality oil will come out in the first press. Now, you've probably heard the terms extra virgin or virgin oil.
Right.
Both of those happen during the first pressing. When the olives are pressed for the first time, either you can have a high quality oil that's considered an extra virgin, or you can have a low quality oil that's considered a virgin oil.
Now, why is it called cold press? What is that?
Because
what does that mean?
Because we're not heating the temperature above 85 degrees.
Okay, and that way the oil comes out better flavor.
Yes.
Better quality.
Yeah, the higher you heat the hotter you heat the paste, the more oil you can extract. So let's say you heat it to 120 or 130 degrees. We would extract a lot more oil, but the quality of that oil would be.
And you don't do that.
No, we don't.
You do it a cold press.
Yes.
Okay, and that's all right.
Yeah.
And the paste, you said you feed it the cows.
Yes.
All right. Yep. Okay. Another piece of video. And this is the final process in the processing of the oil. Let's take a look at that videotape as we kind of narrate over it. Actually, you're going to do the narrating.
Okay, that's fine. So here we see the paste being pumped through that hose there into the centrifuge, and this is what I mentioned earlier. There's a drum in there that you can't see. I think we'll show an image of it here in a second. But there's a drum in there spinning about 3,500 RPM, and what that does, it causes the oil to be thrown to the outside and pushed to the back where it's pumped out, and the heavier paste falls to the middle and gets pushed to the front. And then we pump that to a trailer and back, and then haul it off to a dairy. And the oil will go through one more machine that we call a finisher, and you'll be seeing that in a second, and that's where the clean oil comes out of.
Now, these machines here that we're looking at, what does all this machinery cost? Is it expensive?
It's expensive, yeah. There aren't very many mills in California of this size. You can find some small stuff for under $100,000, but machinery like this is going to cost you
a couple $100,000?
Oh no, quite a bit more than that. Yeah. You're probably looking at probably just shy of $1 million sitting there.
That's amazing.
Yep.
But you're doing $1 million in sales a year,
yeah,
or close to it.
We're growing like crazy.
Yeah.
So,
how many employees?
About 10 to 12, depending on the season. So. And then
here the oil's going to come out. Let's
actually,
take a look at that.
we in 2009 we had our first pressing at Bari, and what you're about to see here is the very first drops of oil we ever produced at our facility.
Okay, so that's the oil coming out, the final process.
That is the final oil.
The first and final process.
Yes, that is ready to consume.
All right, so that's the cold press oil, extra virgin olive oil. All right, how do you put the flavoring in there? You've got fruity tooty, you've got basil, you've got garlic. Do you add real garlic, real basil?
You can.
Or do you just add flavoring?
You can do it a couple different ways. And
how do you guys do it?
We've done it both ways. You can use the real fruit, like let's say you have lemon oil, lemon-infused oil. You can add actually lemons with the olives and get a lemon-flavored oil. Problem is you don't know how strong the lemon flavor is going to be, and you don't know exactly what flavor the olive is going to be and what flavor the oil is going to be. So we use a flavor extract. So I'd say for lemons we use essential oils that are extracted from lemons. It's a natural process, and we use a concentrate form of that we put back into the oil. What we want to do is we want to make sure the oil that we're using isn't going to interfere with the flavor of the fruit that we want. So we want a nice mild buttery oil, and sometimes that flavor doesn't really show itself until 6 to 8 weeks after you harvest.
Well, great. So. You can have somebody just take those bottles out to my car, and we'll pay you later.
No, you're not paying me, remember?
Well, for the oil. We're not going to get freebie oils anyway. Kyle, it's good to see you.
Absolutely.
Hey, next time bring your brother.
Okay, we'll do.
I see your assistant out there in the background.
Yeah,
she's too shy to come on.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway,
we'll get her next time.
All right. Kyle Salwatzky, the owner of Bari Oil, continued success, and come back on the program.
Thank you. We'll do.
Love your oil. It's great. And you can buy it here locally and the market and other places around Fresno. We're back tomorrow. We're going to have Ken Rivera. He is from the officiating crew, and we're going to talk to him about officiating and much more tomorrow on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno.
Do you like me?
Just like me.
Like MeTV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.